What is up, chat man? Today we are reacting to LeBron keeps lying about his super teams. This was highly anticipated and highly recommended. As you guys know, or if you don't know, new to my channel, we've been reacting to old NBA content, and it's been a blast. I've been learning so much about the topic of basketball, and I feel like it helped me a lot. Since I'm a big basketball fan, I think you guys made me even more into a bigger basketball fan. As a big LeBron fan, I'm learning about Jordan. It's the journey's been amazing. I'm not gonna lie. But with that being said, let's get straight into the video. Yes, sir. And if you're new to my channel and you like that content, hit the subscribe button, man. Let's get it.
People talk big three, but the big three thing has never really worked. And you say, well, what happened in Miami? That wasn't really a big three.
The big three era has always had its moment, way before.
I'm a big LeBron fan, but the Miami big three did work out. Like it did. They were a big three. Everyone knew that team was a super team. I can't even let that slide as a LeBron fan. But let's keep getting to the video. Yes, sir.
Before myself, D-Wade, and Boss came together, you had, Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West and Elgin Baylor. They played together,
Bird, Parrish, McHale.
Bird, McHale, exactly. Jordan, Pippen, Rodman.
Come again?
Exactly.
Okay.
Jordan, Pippen, Rodman. So the big three era will always kind of be there.
When it comes to every superstar in league history, the ultimate goal, the crowning achievement, is being an NBA champion. And when you really want to split hairs looking at the best players of all time...
Wait, I know the video just started, but why'd you show LeBron like he missing the dab up? Like he didn't even get dabbed up. What? That was so funny for no reason.
You got to take into account how they got those rings, how much help they had, did they leave their team, and what are the context of their rings. And looking at the modern era, the one guy who's kind of muddied the waters is indeed LeBron James. As looking at LeBron's career, the architect of a modern day super team.
Because I never thought about playing with LeBron.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was possible, first of all.
What? Hold on. Dwayne Wade never thought about playing with LeBron James. But they were teammates, so how does that make sense? What?
I was shocked when it happened.
You and me both.
Shocked.
What?
And plus, it's my favorite person besides Cole, like to compete against. I'm not thinking about playing with him. I love our matchups.
Yeah.
Am I hearing that correctly? Dwayne Wade just said he did not really want to play with LeBron. Like he didn't want to play. He wasn't even thinking about that. What? Let me know down below what you guys think about that. I think that's actually insane because LeBron actually left Cleveland to go to Miami and they won a championship. So for Dwayne Wade to say that, that's kind of crazy. I'll be completely honest with y'all.
And then I got a call.
The real question for me is, can I play without cheating this game?
Nope.
So that right there, LeBron James joining D-Wade and Chris Bosh were both top 10 players in 2010. That move in the moment was a gutless move, stacking the deck for a cheap championship. That move from LeBron James right there set the precedent for the entire era of the 2010s, even to a certain degree, the 2020s. As someone like KD in 2016 did the exact same thing, an even more gutless move, joining the Golden State Warriors.
Coward.
And look, when it...
Do you guys think that LeBron genuinely started the super teams? Him leaving his hometown, Cleveland, Ohio, to go to somewhere else to win a championship, then come back? You think that rubbed on Kevin Durant too? Because I feel like the NBA now, no one's loyal to any franchise. I think the only person is Damian Lillard. Because when Damian Lillard left his team, he didn't even really want to play in Milwaukee. And then he went back to Portland. So let me know down below.
Comes a super team moniker. Super teams, yes, have always existed. But here's the difference. Super teams of the past, they are built organically. They didn't skip several steps.
Okay.
The LeBron James Heat, Kevin Durant Warriors, those teams skipped about 5 steps and cheated the game to a degree we've never seen.
I mean, the game is going to continue to evolve. Like you said, the big three era had its moment. The big three era has always had its moment. Way before myself, D-Wade, and Boss came together, you had, Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West and Elgin Baylor. They played together.
Ooh. Is that true? Were they a super team?
Not the same.
So stopping LeBron and Steve Nash right there, their initial comments, initial points, super teams always existing, it's factually true. Look at the 50s, 60s, up to the 2000s,
Okay.
they've always existed.
That is
But
not
here's
LeBron's
the one
fault then.
detail they conveniently leave out. Those teams of the past, like I said earlier, were built organically and didn't skip
Oh,
steps. And
okay.
look at that first big three LeBron
I try
listed.
to save LeBron
Wilt
right there.
Chamberlain, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor. That right there is three NBA superstars, three legends on the exact same team. In a lot of fans' minds, that's a big three, and of course, a super team.
Yes.
But here's the difference. These guys first year playing together, Elgin Baylor, he was 34. Wilt
Ooh.
Chamberlain was 32, and Jerry West was 30. For that era of NBA history,
But that doesn't change anything though. When you're that age, you're still in your prime. I feel like 34 is a little bit of a stretch, but 30 and 32, you can still be moving.
being your early 30s, mid 30s, that's considered old and the verge of
Okay.
retirement.
Okay.
Look at the big three Heat. Dwayne Wade, 29. Chris
Dang.
Bosh, 26. LeBron, 26. That right there is a big time difference. Miami's
Okay.
big three, all those guys, are their absolute prime apex, physically, skill-wise, and really all-around game.
That's true.
The Lakers' big three, Elgin 34, 1 foot out the door. Wilt Chamberlain, the edge of his prime, and Jerry West, the one guy who was still in his prime. And here's one big difference nobody will ever mention. Wilt Chamberlain, 1968, leaving Philadelphia. He was an NBA champion 2 years prior. Look at
Oh,
LeBron
wow.
James in 2010. He wasn't just ringless, but had choked numerous times in the playoffs as the favorite, not only win the East, but win the championship. LeBron at this point, he was
Ah. Sheesh. It is sometimes hard to defend LeBron James, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It is sometimes hard to defend LeBron, but listen, there's an exception with this. He had a bad team though. Like the cast he had was horrible. But it doesn't that's not an excuse though.
ringless and fleeing Cleveland.
Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, they played together. You know, you had so many guys that's
Yeah.
the big three era. So
Bird, Parrish, McHale.
McHale.
So stopping Steve Nash right there, yet again listing big threes, this time Bird, Parrish, McHale, as well as Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman. And looking at Boston first and foremost, yes, that team back in the day, they were a big three, and they were absolutely loaded. But here's the one context Steve Nash simply doesn't mention or chooses to ignore. How that Boston team was built was through the front office and that collusion behind the scenes. As looking at Larry Bird,
Oh wow.
he was drafted to the Celtics. Kevin McHale, the exact same thing. Parrish, through a trade. DJ, a trade. Danny Ainge, a second round draft pick.
The guy who drafted all these people you guys gotta thank him for the Boston franchise. This is amazing right here. Wow.
Then Bill Walton, also a trade. For someone like Bird having great players around him, it wasn't due to collusion, meddling, or him asking for players every single season. And looking at Magic's Lakers, the exact same story. Magic himself drafted 1980. Kareem got through a trade. Worthy drafted. Scott drafted. Cooper drafted. AC Green also drafted.
Wow.
So for guys like Bird and Magic, yes, they had tremendous help. But looking at their roster, their teammate help, how they got that help was an ethical way through the front office, great draft picks, as well as trades. And of course, guys like Magic and Bird playing in the 80s, an absolutely stacked era, having that much help guarantees you nothing.
yeah,
It's like we
true.
saw in 2011, just because you have all-stars, great players around you, doesn't mean you're winning a championship just like that.
Bird, Parrish, McHale.
McHale, exactly. Jordan, Pippen, Rodman. You know, so like, you know, the victory era will always kind of be there.
So stopping that right there,
Do you think LeBron is a lot of the times wrong during his interviews talking about NBA history? Do you think he's just favoritizing players and he doesn't want to give Jordan exact credit on what he deserves? Or, he always gives him credit. Let me know down below what you guys think and what you guys really think about LeBron. Genuinely.
very quickly, saying Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman were some kind of big three, even super team, I really don't buy it. Jordan's lone all-star team
I feel like they were a super team. Nah, I feel like they were a big three, but they earned that. They traded for Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, was on that team since the beginning. So realistically, no, they built that from the ground up. It's just like OKC right now. A lot of players aren't traded. A lot of players aren't just, going to a whole different team with a lot of all-stars. I 100% understand that. Okay.
Mate was, of course, Scottie Pippen. And Scottie in his own right was a phenomenal player, one of the best wings in league history. But for someone like Rodman, that's where you lose me. Dennis in '96 the Bulls had a phenomenal season, the last great year of Rodman's career, where he made first team all defense. But here's the added context. Dennis prior to '96 was viewed as teen cancer and a powder keg that could explode at any moment. And for the
What?
Spurs, they dumped him for absolutely nothing. Look at this trade. Dennis Rodman, a so-called, all-star superstar great player, traded a 1-for-1 swap.
Did I just see Dennis Rodman taking off his shoes and just laying down in the NBA arena? I've never seen that before. Can you guys let me know what that all was about? I'm generally shocked about that.
With Will Perdue, the Bulls' backup center.
What? How about that? Isn't that amazing?
Looking at that trade 30 years later, with hindsight being 2020, it's an absolute robbery. Will Perdue, a decent backup center, nothing more. Dennis Rodman, a great player, future Hall of Famer. But again, the context,
What?
Rodman's value 95 was in an absolute low, and the Bulls taking him in 1000% was a risk and a roll of the dice by Phil as well as Jerry Krause. The Spurs back in 95, they were almost giddy and happy they dumped Rodman for absolutely nothing. And for someone
Wow.
like Popovich, he thought the Spurs minus Rodman were a championship team. With Rodman, he said they weren't. So
Wow.
when it comes to Dennis in Chicago, was he an all-star or superstar? Of course, far from it.
How did they keep Dennis Rodman in check in Chicago? Because it looks like he's been acting up genuinely off the court, How did they keep him on task? And the Spurs could not handle him. That's probably why, right? Let me know down
He was
below.
34 years old, even by 96. 97, 98, a big time decline. In
Wow.
those two playoffs combined, 4.5 points, 10.2 boards, sub 40% shooting, and from the line below 60%.
Wow.
Now, one more thing I do want to touch on. When it comes to LeBron James camp, their playbook, it's quite simple and transparent. For guys like Jordan, Bird, Magic, inflate their help and overrate it. For LeBron James, downplay it, diminish it. Say LeBron James never really had any help.
People talk big three, but the big three thing has never really worked. And you say, well, what happened in Miami? That wasn't really a big three.
Oh, fuck off.
What?
If, like Rich Paul, you say LeBron James, he never had a big three, a super team, that means Jordan, his career, also never had it and had far less help. Two things, which of course,
Oh my God, that Rich Paul comment was LeBron's downfall right there. Because now you can't even argue Jordan didn't have his big three. If you didn't have a big three, that means Jordan didn't have a big three. Larry Bird didn't have a big three. Most of the NBA didn't have a big three if you don't claim that as a big three. So that does obviously don't make sense. That just doesn't make sense at all.
are objectively true.
Sheesh.
And looking at LeBron's three stops, LA,
doesn't
Cleveland,
make
Miami,
sense at all.
this guy every single stop had stacked team after stacked team. Trying to say LeBron James hasn't had great help is an absolute farce. You're living in a fantasy land. As looking at LeBron post 2010, even in 2014 with Cleveland, stacked the deck included like no player in league history before or since.
Sheesh.
So that right there is the end of the video.
LeBron, man.
And once again, for the super team label, Big Three label, LeBron James simply does not get it. Super teams, Big Threes, they've always existed. But the way those teams are built, constructed, was organically through the front office, not through players. LeBron's teams, how he built them, was through collusion,
Boom.
jumping ship, in the slimiest ways possible for an NBA superstar. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
Chat, we gotta talk about this. I was not expecting, LeBron to say he did not play with a super team because that is genuinely crazy. Because all I know is LeBron playing with super teams. I am Gen Z. I'm not trying to hate on LeBron because I'm a LeBron fan. But all I really do know is LeBron on a super team. He having a nice Miami Heat team. Amazing team. He had a decently nice, talented Cavs team. They were very nice, right? They had a Lakers team, Anthony Davis, LeBron James. Like they were really good. He played with a lot of good talent, but I don't know about that take though. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys for recommending me this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, because it is the end of the video. But recommend me some more stuff to react to. But with that being said, I'll catch y'all next time. Yes, sir.